Hey, hello, by the way, my name is Nji Fornishi. I go by the artist name H Cross. Well, growing up, life was interesting, I grew up in Cameroon, really, West Africa, third world. So I didn't have much imagination, but the things that were provided. But I want to thank my parents because they did uh, enforce education. They made sure that you went to school, you did your homework, you could read, because they always told us education is the route to your freedom. And it did impact me because while I'm learning this source of great information, I'm also dealing with the debacle of the violence around me, from the home to the street to the school. So I kind of grew up balancing both ends. In as much as I want to be a great student, I also was a violent kid, and it impacts how I look at life and how I view things. But I vowed to myself not to have the music that reflects that side. I want the music that projects a future. But that's the kind of music I do, and that's how my life growing up is impact what I do now. Wow, very interesting question. I would say I've been doing music, been a good listener of music, but when I actually knew that I wanted to make music my life, to be honest, I'll lie to you if I tell you I knew that exact moment. But it's just, things just started happening. I was writing, and really it's because I was isolated. I went to a deaf university. I was just isolated in the dorm, and all these rhymes started pouring out. Then I started writing, and I called my sister one day. I was like, yo, please, will you buy me some recording equipment? I need to start recording. And I just started recording. I never stopped from there. Even though the songs I recorded while I was in the dorm, I finally lost them. I had over like 800 songs recorded in the span of a year. I lost them, but I knew at that point that this is what I want to do, even though I was still in school. But I knew my music was different, so will people accept it? Will people not accept it? I was dealing with that, and I'm like, you know what? It's not about people liking what I do or not. I'm here to do timeless music. Well, there's so many things. I mean, look at how I'm dressed. How many artists dress like this on a daily basis? Nah, I'm just joking. But yeah, I'm serious. But what sets me apart really is my lyrical delivery. Not just the deliverance, but also I have a message. There's a message behind it. There's a philosophical concept behind it. If you listen to it, you might pick one or two things that could change your life. Because I'm not just giving you music to listen. I listen to it myself when I'm down. If I'm doing a bang bang or shootout songs, if I'm down, I'm listening to stuff like that. It's not helping me morally, ethically, or mentally. So I listen to myself when I'm down to inspire me. And if it can inspire me, I'm sure it can inspire other people. But my music is not for everybody. You know, I want to be honest with you. If you don't like to think, you don't like philosophy, you don't like to reason, don't even buy my CD. Don't fool yourself. If you want to change your life and do something positive with your life and put your mind at a balanced state where you can think of things in different route, then I'm your guy. But if not, I'm not your guy. And I fully understood because, hey, you're not supposed to like me. Well, I want to say something like, this is the reason why I'm gonna be a student forever. Because I'm gonna freaking write music forever. I can't help it. You say you want to be an artist. Where is an artist's gym? It's either with the books, reading, or you in the lab making music. Now, I'm a scholar. By default, I play with words. By default, I gotta write 12-page papers. By default, I gotta keep my mind thinking. So when it comes to writing music, it's just transcribing what you've thought about and putting it on the beat, which makes it easy. Now, what was your question again?
How do you feel like going to school and getting degrees, has it changed your writing of music?
Oh yeah, it definitely changed my writing ability because I had to read a lot. I had to pick up more words. I had to employ more thoughts. You don't write college papers without thinking. You got to employ more thoughts. And the more I'm thinking, the more I'm able to write. The more I'm writing, the more I'm able to read. And I need my education to balance my craft. And I need my craft to balance my education. That is how I function. So I'm going to be a student for life. I did study social work, but I have a bachelor's in social work, and I also have a master's in social work. But the problem was my degree in social work, I obtained it from the Deaf University. You want me signed to show you that I'm the best rapper alive? Period. Well, you find a performer that can sign their song and talk at the same time. Never happened. The boy know I'm a legend. Kill me right now. I have 90 albums recorded already, ready to go. I have 3 honorary doctorate degrees. I have a doctorate in political science because while I was undergrad, I was working on my research as a McNair scholar. You should check that out. And once I finished the research, it was a complete dissertation, and I submitted it, and I was awarded a doctorate in political science, and I was also awarded a doctorate in divinity, which I did complete another one. I was awarded a doctorate in divinity, so I decided to go to school to study divinity again, which is madness, but I just love school. So I'm bringing education, scholasticism, and artistry into the craft. And I just finished my last dissertation for my 3rd degree, 3rd doctorate, but I haven't submitted it. So I'm like, what's the point? If I submit it, I'll send it. That, and I'm starting law school next week. Well, some of my proudest achievement as far as my music is concerned, I was able to release an album independently. I think no help from scratch. It's not easy. Those artists out there can tell you, they can vouch that. As an artist, I think I've been able to meet some very, very great people. And they have also taught me a lot, and I've learned a lot from them. What's the other question?
What are your hopes for your future projects? What would you like to accomplish?
My future project, I'm working within the next year. I plan to release another. I have another album on the way. You know, we're working on a video, hustling. It's gonna be dope. I hope you're gonna check it out. Fire, Andreas is making it happen, and you know, he's my videographer, man. Shout out to Andreas. He's doing big things. If you want some dope videos and you're in Atlanta, you know, call that number and we're gonna make it happen. You know what I'm saying? And I'll put the number at the end of the screen. He's a good guy. He got that work ethics and quality work for you. You know what I'm saying? But within the next year, I plan to release an album and shoot a video for everything through Andreas production, and then just keep writing and recording and making more music because the fans are really questioning. This thing that is happening around the world, the violence, the hate, the anti-Semitism, the racism, the classism, the culturalism, all these isms that we have put to separate each other, that has to stop. First, I believe that all this nonsense shooting is not necessary. I think a police officer takes an oath to protect and serve you, the citizen. And I also think you, the citizen, have to understand that the police officer took an oath to protect and serve, and you have to respect them. I don't think you're gonna be pleased if you work at McDonald's, I come order my food and spit on your face. You're gonna jump out of that counter and whoop my ass. I gotta keep it real. If you don't like what I'm saying, you can turn it off. I don't need you to like me. I'm gonna speak the truth. I came here to speak the truth. You gotta keep God in your life. You don't have God, you're lost. And my message is, the youth, you gotta stop looking up to people who amount to nothing, because you see where they end up at. You keep looking up to people who end up in jail, then you end up in jail, and that's when you want to start writing your regret prayers. You don't do that. If you know the direction you're headed to, you guys anticipate what the conclusion of that direction is. And if that direction is going to drive you into more problems, and you going into it sheepishly, and you fall into regret after you're facing the consequence, then you have yourself to blame, because time was on your side. So we have to stop the nonsense killing, and folks have to start respecting. I'm not supporting the killings. It's definitely wrong, but also I don't support disrespect. You're dealing with someone who's heavily armed and they got more firepower than you, and you still want to talk shit and expect not to get clapped. Then when you get clapped, everybody's turning around. Someone is going out there shooting innocent police officers that have nothing to do with the killing that happened on the other side. What kind of madness are we at?